welcome to the Ill Noise Business Playbook. I have here Raghu with Always Be Connecting. Raghu, how you doing today, man?
Excellent, Joe. Doing really good, really good. And thank you for having me on your show. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it right back. Before we get started, I certainly we want to learn all about your business and all the wonderful things you're doing to really connect people in a really powerful way. It's been really kind of neat to follow you across social media and see all the beautiful things you're doing. But let's talk about something that we're both kind of fond of here. Yesterday, we had an opportunity to watch our beloved team. So I guess my question to you is, A, were you at the game? And if not, did you at least watch the game?
I was at the game.
Nice.
It was really fun. It was amazing to have a feeling where we're actually going to make some big plays, and to see us not blow a game after
Yes.
we're already up by 2 touchdowns. It was a really refreshing feeling to see some excellent execution of plays and better play calling from this coach.
For sure. And I assume that place was just rocking.
It was awesome. I think there were a lot of Cowboys fans there. There were
Is
a
that
ton
right?
of Cowboys fans. Yep.
Okay.
A lot. And so I think the place was at some point, like at second half, third quarter, when we were up by 2 touchdowns, there was still uncertainty because
Sure.
it's never over until it's over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Luckily, we took control and didn't let up.
It's always great. Mondays are so much sweeter when we get to come off a victory like that. So that's cool. Well, let's keep that positive feeling. Let's keep that fun going. Please tell the audience what inspired you and motivated you to do what you're doing right now with Always Be Connecting.
Yeah. So when I got into networking, I was in the insurance field. I was in corporate America for 12 of those years when it came to networking events and joining a lot of these chambers of commerce. When I opened up an all-state agency in 2019, joined the local chambers, the Sharma Business Association, the Hoffman Chamber, and the GOA, and really attended all the events. And I was the face of my agency, and I went to about 60 or 70 events a year. My goal was to be known as a connector who happened to own an insurance agency instead of the other way around. Anyone can say they're an insurance agent, and anyone can say they have an occupation. It's tough to relate to occupations, but it's really easy to relate to people and people's stories and their whys. And so I set out to do 20 coffee meetups every month. And I did that for the first 3 years. And I still do a lot of coffee meetups, but I learned a lot through those 1,000 coffee meetups, even through COVID, safe meetings at Bussy Woods, outside walks.
Sure.
Masked up at Panera's and at Topgolf when it's outdoors. And so we did a lot of different meetups, and I learned a lot through that. And, after the 3rd year of doing that, I did a presentation called Always Be Connecting for the Sharma Business Association. And it was basically the mindsets, processes, and techniques of effective networking strategies. Everyone cares about giving, or everyone cares about getting. When they join a chamber, their motivation is to receive. But how are you a giver? I read the Go Giver book about 7-8 years ago, and it changed the way I look at things and changed the way I define what is truly giving. It's not just referrals. It's giving your ear and listening to people, letting people know, hey, you might not want to work that event. It might be a waste of your time, or that might be a good event for you to work to, or this person might be a good person for you to speak to. Power partners. And so I've been talking about power partners for about 7 years now, 6 years. And when I did that presentation, power partners was one of the terms that I used. I didn't come up with the term, but I started using power partners. And people care about power prospects, but I'd rather have a power partner. And power partner is somebody who wants to see you win.
Sure.
Big difference. Not just is networking with you, but wants to see you win. When a door gets open for them, they keep the door open for you. And you can't say that about everyone out there. And so that inspired me to open up 6 months after I did that presentation, to open up the company called Always Be Connecting. And my goal was to show people how to be the live version of LinkedIn. So you can do everything through the air, and I get it. You could do a lot through the air. You could do Zoom calls like we're right now, this podcast. We could do a lot of meetups over the phone. You could do that. But I think most people will prefer in-person meetings because you can feel energy. They want to be able to refer people that they trust. And there's something to be said about that in-person networking. So I set out to help people get one step closer to be the live version of LinkedIn through coaching. And that's what really truly inspired me to open up ABC. And it's been almost 4 years since I started it. And I love what I do.
You could tell. I've seen you in action. You definitely do a great job of what you do. What sort of obstacles have you found, challenges along the way of trying to get this established?
Yeah. So the one thing is, how many networking coaches are there out there? The first thing I looked at in November of 2021, which is like 2 months before I opened up Always Be Connecting, was what's the market out there? What do I charge? What would I help people with? Is there even a market out there? Would people pay for a networking coach? And so when I looked at it, I didn't see any networking coaches out there. There's referral groups and there's networking groups, LaTips, MSperts, BNIs. Those are great groups, and there's chambers of commerce and things like that. But there's nobody that's a connection catalyst for people. There was nobody out there. And what connection catalyst is, when you look at the definition, it's someone or something that speeds up a connection. You could be in the same room with somebody 10 different times, but you might not meet them, but connecting with intention, right?
Yep.
Elevating people's games by collaborating with their competition. And so there was a lot of things that it's like, since there's nobody out there doing it, how do I even define what I do? And so how did I overcome it? Was I just started getting testimonials from people, not even my ABC customers, but people that I know just in general. And I asked them, what did they learn from me? Was there anything they picked up from me? Was there anything that I helped them with that I didn't know? And so not right now, but before, my first 15 testimonials on my website, on my Always Be Connecting website, were people that I helped that weren't even my ABC clients. And so, but I learned a lot about what people learned from what I helped them with. And it helped me define and go deeper on the things that I'm good at. And it also showed me what the true value of what I'm providing is, right? And so that's what I started with. And then I also, and I want to say that those meetups that I had, and every meetup I have, those shaped everything that I do. So it's not like I came up with all this stuff by myself. Those 1,000 meetups that I had those first 3 years, I learned so much. I did probably double the amount of meetups that other people did. And I always think about Kobe Bryant. If you ever watch his video about his Mamba mentality when it comes to practice, when he was talking about 4 practices versus 2, after 6 years, nobody's going to catch up to him. That's what he was talking about. So when I watched that video, that's what got me to think about, why don't I just do 20 coffee meetups a month? There's 20 business days in a month, and I'll do 20 coffee meetups a month. And that's what got me almost like the case studies to find out what good receiving and take and end up and be a great giver means, right? How are you a problem solver for your people? And so what goes around comes around.
Now, how do you get the word out as far as what you're doing? How do you grow your networking? How do you grow
my biggest advantage is the people in my squad. So my network is my squad, so they help me a lot. And so, when I've earned the right to text somebody, and I always talk about that, earn the right to text somebody. So what goes into that? You can't just text somebody you just meet one time somewhere or over the phone or on Zoom. But if you had coffee meetups with these people, I talked about 1,000 coffee meetups, but what about the second and third meetup with the same person? That's the get stuff done meeting. Those are the get stuff done. That's the collaboration, right? The first one's kicking the tires, getting to know their why. Why do they get involved in this industry or that industry? What inspired them to open up their business? But the second and third coffee meetups, those are the collaboration meetings. And I do more of those than a lot of people, and I get so much from it. And so my network, my squad, is the power that I have. So I have a term that I always say is squad boost. My squad boosts me, and I boost my squad. So what goes around comes around. And I truly feel it's contagious, and I'm lucky enough to have the best squad out there. And, I can't say anything really more about it other than it's that and being consistent. So I'm very consistent about what I do. So I do networking events. I attend networking events. I'm consistent about it. I give a lot to the nonprofit world. I'm on 2 or 3 boards within the nonprofit world and on my committees when it comes to fundraising. And then I have workshops. I have referral groups that I started with Always Be Connecting. But the one thing is consistency is that I'm very consistent about what I do. Sit here and attend some events and then disappear. I'm very consistent about it. and I'm very accessible to the people that are accessible for me.
Love it. You're dropping bars here. I love it, Raghu. So can you, we certainly, obviously, I think we were influenced you with the whole power partner, just concept and stuff like that. And just really trying to elevate people is really what we're all about. And I think as are you. Can you tell us about, somebody you've worked with, a company or an individual that you really, I know you've got, I'm sure, tons of them, but somebody that really sort of stands out where it just really kind of helps continue to light that spark that exists within you to do what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to just talk about one or two people when
Everybody.
there's so many people that are out there.
It's like asking for your favorite kid, right?
Yeah. And I would say I know this is not an ABC customer, but it means a lot to me that through networking, we were able to build a nonprofit, and it's called Giving Group. And we're a nonprofit that gives back to pets and kids. And it starts in the Schaumburg area, but goes all the way down to Naperville, goes all the way up to Mundelein. While I was not one of the official founding members, I've been to every event since they first started. But, I was part of the inspiration of it, which was a kickball tournament back in 2021, just a couple months after, right before I started ABC and right after I gave that talk at the SBA. And we did this kickball tournament to raise $10,000 for kids organizations in this area. So that inspired everything. How cool is it? Networking is great, but how cool is it to build a nonprofit from the people that you met through the networking circles? That's really cool. And to give back to the same community I grew up in. And so I've gotten a lot of awesome connections from it. Always be connecting, sponsors, Giving Group events. It's a place where even my daughter is a junior ambassador at Giving Group. My daughter's 15 years old. How cool is that to be able to volunteer with my daughter and give back to the school district that I grew up in and that she goes to now? And, as far as that goes, so they're not official. That's not a client relationship or anything, but I love what I do. I love what we do. I love what we do,
That was a good story. I can see why you would be so proud of that. Raghu, what's the best way for people to reach out to you and to learn more about what you're doing with ABC?
Yeah, the best way is probably my email address. It's Raghu, so Raghu at alwaysbeconnecting.net. That's the best way.
Beautiful. Raghu, I really appreciate we really appreciate you sitting down with us today, and let's hope next Monday we feel the same way with our beloved team. But thank you so much for spending time with us today, okay?
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You got it. You take care.